So, you're planning a trip to the Emerald Isle. That's amazing. It's a truly incredible place. But the key to a really great adventure is feeling confident that you're prepared for anything. In this explainer, we are going to cover all the essential safety tips so you can focus on the fun stuff, not the what ifs. And this quote right here, it just nails the whole point. Being prepared isn't about being pessimistic or expecting things to go wrong. It's about making sure you can handle a little bump in the road if it happens. That way, you get to spend way less time stressing and a whole lot more time just soaking up the incredible sights and sounds of your trip. So you might be wondering where all this info is coming from. Well, our source is EmergencyReady.eu. Think of it as a smart companion for European travel. It's a project that gathers all the critical safety info for countries all across Europe. It covers everything from local emergency numbers to specific regional risks. And today, we're jumping right into their guide for Ireland. Okay, every great trip really starts before you even pack your bags, right? It starts with knowing the landscape. So first up, let's take a look at the top 3 travel risks you should definitely be aware of when you're heading to Ireland. You have to remember, Ireland's location is right on the very edge of the Atlantic Ocean. And that means the weather can be, well, a pretty powerful force. So the number one natural hazard to have on your radar is the potential for some pretty severe storms rolling in off the water. So, how do you stay safe? First things first, always take status orange or status red weather warnings seriously. They're no joke. You're going to want to download the Met Ireland app. That's Met, EIREANN. It's the official Irish weather service, and it'll give you real-time alerts. And here's a great local tip. If there's a power outage, listen for any local announcements about emergency response hubs opening up in community centers for support. All right, moving on from Mother Nature, the next risk is one that can actually get you before you even arrive. Scams that target accommodation and holiday rentals. Yeah, this is a real issue, so it's so important to know the red flags. You've got to watch out for cloned websites that look almost legit. Be really suspicious if anyone demands a cash-only deposit. And be extra careful if a so-called landlord just refuses to do a live video tour of the property. If it feels off, you know what? Just trust your gut. And our third key risk is one that's common to a lot of popular tourist spots all over the world. Opportunistic stuff like pickpocketing and card skimming, especially in busy areas. A few simple street-smart habits can make all the difference here. When you need to get cash, try to use an ATM that's inside a bank, not just one on the street. And when you're in those really crowded zones, think Dublin's Temple Bar or Grafton Street, keep your bag zipped and wear it in front of you. Honestly, these little precautions make you a much less appealing target. Okay, so you've navigated all the pre-travel planning like a pro. Now you've landed. Let's get the absolute on-the-ground essentials programmed not just into your phone, but into your brain. This might be the single most important slide in this entire explainer. Seriously, if you have any life-threatening emergency, we're talking fire, police, ambulance, the number to call is 112 or 999. They both work. And 112 is the standard across the entire EU, so it's a fantastic one to have memorized for all your European travels. Beyond that main number, here are a few other key contacts. So for the Coast Guard or Mountain Rescue, you dial the same emergency number, 112 or 999, and then you just ask to be connected to the service you need. Simple. There's also a 24-hour Poisons Information Center. You know what? Go ahead and take a quick screenshot of this. It's really worth having these numbers saved. A road trip is, hands down, one of the best ways to see the Irish countryside. But driving in a new country definitely requires a bit of prep. So let's cover the essentials for mastering the roads safely. And here it is, the absolute number one non-negotiable golden rule. In Ireland, you drive on the left side of the road. It might feel a little weird for the first 10 minutes if you're not used to it, but I promise you'll adapt pretty quickly. Just keep that little mantra going in your head, stay left, stay left. All right, a few other quick fire rules to keep in mind. Traffic on roundabouts, and you'll see a lot of them, flows clockwise, so you always yield to vehicles coming from your right. You can never, ever turn right on a red light. Seatbelts are mandatory for every single person in the car, and the blood alcohol limit is 0.05%, with really frequent and totally random police checkpoints. Now here is a really key update for drivers. Starting in 2025, speed limits are actually being reduced on a lot of secondary and local roads. This means your GPS might be out of date. The crucial takeaway here is to always trust the posted signs on the side of the road over whatever your sat nav is telling you.
So, if an incident does happen on the road, the most important thing is to stay calm and just follow this process. First, pull over as safely as you can. Get everyone out of the car, put on those high-vis vests, and wait behind a safety barrier. Then, you call for help. Once it's safe to do so, place your warning triangle. And finally, exchange details and report it to the Gardaí. That's the Irish police.
Okay, here is a pro tip that can save you from a nasty surprise fine. The main motorway that goes around Dublin, the M50, has a barrier-free toll, so your license plate gets photographed automatically. You're not going to stop at a booth. Instead, you have to go online and pay that toll by 8 p.m. the following day. My advice? Set a reminder on your phone.
Wow, we have covered a lot of ground, from weather alerts all the way to road tolls. So let's wrap it all up into a final, super actionable checklist you can run through right before your trip.
Here are the key takeaways. First, save 112 in your phone's contacts. Download the Met Erin weather app and also the SafeTrex app if you're planning any coastal walks or hiking. Definitely pack waterproof layers and a high-vis vest. Make sure you have a Type G power adapter for your electronics. And finally, it's always smart to have about €50 in cash for small purchases, especially in more rural areas. And that's it. You are now totally prepared for the unexpected, which, ironically, is the best way to make sure your trip is all about adventure, not emergencies. You're ready for an amazing time. So I guess the only real question left is, what's your first stop in Ireland?